Singer, songwriter, actress Olivia Newton John was born on September the 26th, 1948 in Cambridge, United Kingdom. In 1954, when Olivia was just 5 years old, her and her family moved to Melbourne, Australia. She attended Christ Church Grammar School in a suburb of Melbourne, Australia. She went on to attend University High School in Parkville, Australia. At the age of 14, young Olivia formed a girls group with 3 of her classmates. The group didn't last that long. It was short-lived. But, they did a couple of performances for, the local area of Australia, around Australia, Melbourne, Australia. And basically, for family get-togethers and stuff like that, they did performances. So it wasn't a real serious group, but yeah, she did form a girls group at the age of 14 with 3 of her classmates. And just a fun fact there. In 1964 is when her acting talent was first recognized through her performances in her high school stage productions. Soon after, she became a regular on local TV shows such as Time for Terry and The Happy Show. In 1965, she won a talent contest on a TV program called Sing, Sing, Sing. Her prize for winning the contest was a trip to Great Britain, which young Olivia was hesitant and reluctant to go at first. But about a year later, her mother convinced her to go. While in Britain in 1966, she recorded her first song for Decca Records called Till You Say You'll Be Mine. With the recording of her first song and her career prospects looking a lot better in Britain, I guess young Olivia started to like Britain a little bit more, and so she chose to stay in Britain at this time. So she preferred Britain over going back to Australia at this time. She was eventually recruited by a music group called Tomorrow. In 1970, the group starred in a science fiction musical that bared the name of the group, and they also created a soundtrack album for the musical as well. Neither the musical nor the soundtrack for the musical was successful for the group. The group went on to release a couple of songs independent of the musical and the soundtrack for the musical, But those songs didn't go anywhere either, and the band quickly disbanded at that time. In 1971, Olivia released her first solo album called If Not For You. Singles released from this album was the title track, If Not For You, and another song called Banks of the Ohio. An interesting side note about this album, although it was everywhere else in the world, the album was titled If Not For You. In the UK, it was simply called Olivia Newton John, but only in the UK. In 1972, Olivia released her second studio album called simply Olivia. Although it was released in 1972, it was never formally released in the United States for some reason. One single was released from this album called What Is Life? In 1973, she released her third studio album called Let Me Be There. It was renamed Music Makes My Day in Britain, though. The songs released from this album were called Take Me Home Country Roads, which had minimal success, and the title track, Let Me Be There, which was a way bigger hit song. Both of these songs, though, off this album were they had a tinge of country music. They were like country music flavored songs. So, yeah. In 1974, she released the album Long Live Love, which was renamed in the United States and Canada as If You Love Me, Let Me Know. In Europe, most of the original songs for this album were swapped out for more country sounding songs. I guess they were trying to capitalize off of her previous hit song, Let Me Be There. Anyways, two singles went on to be released from this album. If You Love Me, Let Me Know, and I Honestly Love You, which became found success with audience from the pop and country music arena. Olivia garnering attention in the country music arena and getting a lot of success in the country music arena didn't sit well with many of the country music purists. They had a problem with her music being a success in their arena of country music. Although many country music artists had a problem with Olivia's success in the country music field, Stella Parton, yeah, that's Dolly's sister, offered support to Olivia via a song called Ode to Olivia. In and around 1975, Olivia left the UK and moved to the United States. Also in 1975, she released her album, Have You Never Been Mellow? The singles released from this album were the title track, Have You Never Been Mellow, and a song called Please, Mr. Please. Later in that year of 1975, she released another album called Clearly Love. And the only single released from this album was a song called Something Better to Do. In 1976, she released her album Come On Over, which the only single that was released was the title track of the same name. Also in 1976, she released the album Don't Stop Believing with the single Sam. In 1977, she released the album Making a Good Thing Better. Also around this time, she released Olivia Newton John's Greatest Hits album. In 1978, she starred in the very successful and classic movie Grease. Not only was the movie highly successful, the soundtrack for the movie was highly successful as well, and it yielded 3 more hit songs for Olivia: Hopelessly Devoted to You, You're the One That I Want, a duet with John Travolta, and another duet with actor John Travolta on the song Summer Nights. If you didn't know already, actor John Travolta was her co-star in the classic movie Grease. If you didn't already know. Olivia also released her album called Totally Hot in 1978. This album contained the singles A Little More Love, Deeper Than the Night, and the title track single called Totally Hot. In 1979, she performed at the Music for UNICEF concert. In 1980, she released a song called I Can't Help It. It was a duet with singer Andy Gibb. She also starred in a television special called Hollywood Nights. Also in 1980, she appeared in a movie called Xanadu. Although the movie was deemed a failure, the soundtrack was fire. Olivia scored more hit songs with the song Magic, Suddenly, which was a duet with singer Cliff Richard, and a collaboration with the Electric Light Orchestra on a song that bears the same name as the movie, Xanadu. In 1981, she released her most commercially successful album called Physical. The success of this album was driven mostly by the title track, which was a humongous hit, and it was regarded as the #1 song of the decade at that time. So, yeah, the title track, Physical, was a humongous hit, and it drove this album to be her most successful album. Other hit songs on this album were Make a Move on Me and Landslide. The success of the Physical album had Olivia on the road on an international tour. She also released Olivia's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Although this album was mainly a greatest hits compilation, it did have 2 new songs which also became hits for Olivia, and they were called Heart Attack and Tied Up. In 1983, she teamed up with John Travolta again for a movie called Two of a Kind. Although the movie didn't do too well, the soundtrack did well, with such songs as Twist of Fate, Living in Desperate Times, and Take a Chance, which actually was a duet with John Travolta. In 1985, she released the album Soul Kiss, with the title track being released as a single. In 1988, she released an album called The Rumor. This album released the title track as a single, and also released a song called Can We Talk It Over in Bed. In 1989, showing a softer side, she released the album Warm and Tender. In 1992, she released a greatest hits compilation called Back to Basics, The Essential Collection, 1971-1992. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly after the release of this greatest hits album. In 1994, she released the album Gaia, One Woman's Journey, which basically chronicled the her ordeal dealing with breast cancer and her life in general. The singles released from this album were called No Matter What You Do, Don't Cut Me Down, a song that was used in the 1996 AIDS drama It's My Party, a song called Not Gonna Give Into It, a song called The Way of Love, which was featured in a telefilm called The Christmas Romance. And a song called Trust Yourself, which was featured in the TV movie Wild Girls and the theatrical film Sordid Lives. In 1998, she released the album Back with a Heart. From this album, she released the singles Love is a Gift and a re-recording of her previous hit song, I Honestly Love You, featuring background vocals from singer Babyface. She went on to perform at the 2000 Summer Olympics opening ceremony. Also in the year 2000, she released One Woman's Live Journey album. In 2002, she was inducted into the Australia's Hall of Fame. During the next several years, she participated in several tribute albums, but they were only released in Australia. In 2005, she released the album Stronger Than Before, and it was released exclusively in the United States by Hallmark. You know, Hallmark, the card company. In 2006, she released the album Grace and Gratitude, which was exclusively sold at Walgreens drugstores. In 2007, she released the album Christmas Wish, which was exclusively sold at Target retail stores. For the remainder of her life, she continued to record, perform, tour, and participate in various charitable events. In 2020, in her final performance publicly at the Firefight Australia charity event, In 2021, she released her last song called Window in the Wall. It was a song about unity, and it was a duet with her daughter. On August the 8th, 2022, Miss Olivia Newton John passed away, unfortunately. I would just like to thank Miss Olivia Newton John for all the music and entertainment she shared with the world. And God bless her soul, and I hope her soul continues to rest in heavenly peace. With that said, I'm going to end the video right here. Please feel free to like, share, comment on this video. Also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. After subscribing, please click that little notification bell in order to be notified of any new uploads from the channel. Thank you all for your support. I truly appreciate it. I'm out on this one. Hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Peace! One love. Stay safe. Continue to be blessed.